Hey, hope you're doing well. Big fan of you. We're just gonna jump straight in. So this is the Gmail loophole I used to fire my boss and rake in 6 figures writing simple emails from home. Working whenever I want, from wherever I want, without having to show my face or hustle 12 hours a day, right? So first things first, who am I and why should you give a shit? Long story short is I have helped 600 people launch their freelancing copywriting businesses. 55 of them have hit 6 figures and dozens more have quit their jobs. We have over 500 testimonials in my Instagram highlight reels. Yes, 500 out of 600. You can do the maths on what our success rate is like. Personally, myself, made over $2.5 million with the skill that I'm about to share today of Gmail copywriting, as I call it, as my side hustle, by the way, while actually pursuing a full-time career in music. I'm a DJ and music producer as well. So you've been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, Daily Mail, all that good stuff. 2 times Summit speaker, shared the stages with some dudes you might have heard of. Dan Pena, Dan Locke, Craig Clemens, Bedros Keullian, Marion, Jason Capital, Justin Golf, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, my shit works. All right, that's all you need to know. And we have some testimonials. Not gonna read every single one of these. We'll be here literally forever. People getting money, getting paid. Beautiful. So, meet 2017 Sean. I basically just wanted to share this and put this here to show you that I am a regular ass dude. Okay, I was not born with a silver spoon up my ass. Literally, caught myself, I don't know if you can see, shaving this morning, right? I'm just a regular person who's managed to figure some things out and make a good amount of money. And that's why I wanted to share this with you today. 2017 Sean. I was broke as a joke, working in a warehouse for minimum wage. I just dropped my engineering degree to essentially pursue a career in music. I didn't want to be a broke ass struggling musician, right? So I basically needed a way of making a full-time income working part-time. Started and failed at 5 different businesses, literally everything from sports betting to drop shipping, online casino hacking. Funny story behind that one. I'll tell you later. Network marketing, Forex trading. Wasted a year of my life essentially and just went nowhere. I just ate shit for an entire year and it sucked. I was basically an embarrassment to my friends, to my family, and they thought I was essentially throwing away a prestigious degree and promising future with basically nothing to show for it. So that was where I started. I finally came to my senses and essentially realized that rather than wasting years of my life trying to figure it out myself, I knew there were already people out there who were making millions of dollars who could just show me what to do. And I could get there 10 times faster by learning from someone who'd already done it. So in mid 2018, my friend and mentor, Jason Capital, you might have heard of him, was launching a copywriting program. And I knew for a fact that this was a proven path to success. I'd heard about copywriting before. I knew people were making good money from it. But one small little problem, I was flat broke. Okay, I saved up and gave all my money to Jason, basically left with $29 to my name. And you can see the screenshot here on the left. I took this July 2018 because I knew one day this would be a cool success story. So glad I took that screenshot. So I basically busted my ass for 30 days after that to learn and master this skill of copywriting. I became competent pretty quickly. The training was good. But next problem, of course, I had now no idea how to actually get people to pay me to write for them, as the program didn't cover like getting clients and stuff like that. So I had to work it out. I had this hypothesis that reaching out to people in a personal way and offering value would probably get me further than just sending some horrible canned giant pitch. A lot of other people were doing these hideous cold emails. And I was right. So I quickly managed to land my first few clients and eventually managed to quit my warehouse job, which I do not miss at all, by the way. But now I had a new problem. So I started to see that some of my clients were getting hundreds of opens, clicks, and sales with my emails, and others were getting like almost none. And I really just could not for the life of me figure out why. I was like, my emails are the same, so why are my clients getting such vastly different results? Couldn't work it out. So it turns out basically there were some things that I was doing without even realizing that were actually causing this. And so once I figured this out, I basically was able to make my clients a hell of a lot more sales with email. And of course, that meant I could charge a lot more money, specifically $3,000 a month instead of $2,000 a month each. And that is when it clicked. So I went from making around $6,000 a month to 12 to 15K a month, which for me at the time, you gotta understand, was a crazy amount of money to me back then. So I did what anyone would do and I started to travel, right? I was able to travel all around the world while my business grew. All I had to do was just write 4 emails every morning, 1 for each client, because I had 4 clients. So of course, word started to spread. People started to ask me basically from these programs, they saw me getting all these clients, traveling, etc. And they were like, dude, How are you doing this? You need to teach me. And so obviously people started asking me, started to help a few of them on the side just for fun, for free. And it got to a point where I was like, dude, I can't help all these people for free. It's taking so much time. So I basically transitioned and realized that I actually love the coaching, like having that in-depth result on someone's life more than I did the actual copywriting itself. I just found it more fulfilling, more rewarding. And so I eventually just said, fuck it, right? I pivoted and actually began coaching copywriters full-time on how to get clients. Fast forward to today, I've made over $2.5 million from this skill. Myself, as I said, I've helped over 600 people launch their freelance copywriting businesses, and 55 of them have hit a six-figure income. Dozens more have quit their jobs. It's been cool. It's been a really fun ride, and it's been really exciting. That obviously unlocks some pretty exciting doors for me. Can't really see the screenshot. Let me make myself a little smaller. There you go. You can see the 2.5 mil on the left. That enabled me obviously to pursue my music career, which is my original goal. So if you can see there, I managed to get signed to Spinnin' Records. I actually played at Ultra Music Festival in Europe, not the main festival, just the boat party, but still got to meet my idols. There's me with Martin Garrix, if you know who that is. There's Jason Capital, got to speak on stage at his big event in front of 900 people. Thank him for helping me. Bought my dream car. There's me playing a show. And I actually hired a Ferrari for Father's Day for my dad. His mind was blown because this is his favorite car. Should have seen the look on his face. It was really cool. Yeah, and just network with millionaires, get invited to cool exclusive parties, all that kind of stuff that really was just out of the realm of possibility for Mr. 2017 Sean, who was working in a warehouse. Okay, so it is quite a wild ride. And so today, my life looks a little bit more like this. Now, this is of course not my everyday, but this is just some of the stuff I've been able to do in the last couple of years. Swimming with dolphins in Mexico. It's me with my beautiful girlfriend, Brooke, there. Skiing in New Zealand, hanging out with elephants in Bali, whitewater rafting, skydiving, sipping a nice coconut on the hammock. And also just for shits and gigs, did a DJ set in an airplane, because fuck it, why not? So it's been fun, right? And it all started from that one move to join that coaching program, learn the skill of copywriting. And I would absolutely not trade my life today for my old life, but I'm very grateful for my experiences. So why should you give a shit? Why am I sharing all of this with you? Am I just sitting here to brag? What does all this mean for you? So here's the big lesson. Here's the big takeaway for you. After going from minimum wage to making $2.5 million online, and that, by the way, is a ClickFunnels award. If you're not familiar, basically awarded to you for reaching $1 million in sales. Here's the takeaway. Starting a successful business is fucking difficult, in case you couldn't tell from all my failed businesses. If you want to make a full-time income from home, I actually suggest you don't start a business, at least not yet. The reality is there are so many different skills you have to learn and master to start and run a successful business that people don't tell you about, right? Almost every business is of course going to need some capital to get started, not to mention all of your time, attention, energy, and focus. I put a picture of a baby there because it is quite literally like raising a baby, right? It is a full-time occupation. And I think it's a big reason why most businesses fail within the first 5 years. People just don't have the time, attention, energy to get it off the ground, right? It's like a rocket taking off and it's crazy amount of fuel to really escape the inertia of Earth's gravity. So just take a typical e-com business, for example, right? You've probably seen some drop shipping gurus and stuff preaching how easy it is to make money online with e-com. I'm not saying you can't make money with e-com. I have a lot of friends who absolutely crush it in that space, but they work incredibly fucking hard, okay? Don't let them deceive you. They're not driving around in Lambos all day. Yes, they own the Lambos. Yes, I have 2 friends who have Lambos, but they work like animals, all right? They work all day, every day. Here are just some of the key skills you have to master to run a profitable e-com store. Technical skills. You need to know web design, funnel design, coding, Shopify, payment gateways, Stripe, shipping and fulfillment, automation, Google Analytics. Then you need marketing skills to actually get sales. You need to know how to run ads to cold traffic. If you don't know what cold traffic is, exactly, that's the point I'm trying to make. There's so many things you need to learn. SEO, PPC advertising, pay-per-click, email marketing, cart abandonment, social media marketing. Research skills. You need product research to find an in-demand product with high margins from a trustworthy supplier. Sales skills. You need an understanding of human psychology, maximizing customer AOV and LTV. Again, if you don't know what those are, you shouldn't be starting a business, okay? Average order value and lifetime value of the customer. Negotiating with suppliers, right? Customer support. Financial skills. You need to manage your cash flow, manage your inventory, setting prices, very important. Tracking expenses, monitoring profits, accounting software. Analytical skills. Understanding customer behavior, monitoring website traffic, analyzing, optimizing marketing campaigns. Creative skills. You need to create compelling product descriptions, engaging marketing content, visually appealing product images, point of difference. Why are you different from the competitors? Storytelling, branding, all these skills. What separates Nike from a random shoe company you've never heard of? Branding, right? Design to create that brand image that stands out from the competition. Am I done? We're not done. Did I mention Leadership, leading and motivating a team. Because you're sure as hell, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be doing all of this yourself. You need to know how to manage a team, right? Set goals, inspire people to work towards them. Then communication, in managing your employees, dealing with customers, negotiating with partners. Strategic thinking, to identify new opportunities, create long-term plans. Time management, managing yourself and your team to ensure that tasks are actually completed on time. Adaptability to changing circumstances, navigate unforeseen challenges, networking to build relationships with customers, suppliers, other industry professionals, innovation to develop new products or services. What a bloody headache. If you're still here, if you're still paying attention, have I lost you? That's my point. There are so many different skills and so many moving pieces that you need to master and take into account in order just to get your business off the ground. So that is why I recommend you don't start a business in the beginning. Instead, here is what I recommend based on, again, my experience. What you want to do is you want to learn an in-demand skill that businesses are willing to pay big money for. So this way, instead of taking all the risk on yourself, you get paid while learning the ins and outs of an already successful business. It's like free mentorship. In fact, you're actually getting paid as well. So you get most of the benefits of having your own business, aka good money, full control of your income. You can work as much or little as you want. You can work whenever you want, wherever you want. There's no answering to a boss, sitting in traffic, or dealing with annoying coworkers, and all without the financial risks of starting your own business. Pretty good deal. So, skills. What are some of these in-demand skills that I'm talking about? What are the most in-demand skills in 2023? In my opinion, these right here are my top 5 most in-demand high income skills that can make you 6 figures in 2023 and beyond, that do not require a degree or years of experience. So we have phone closing, social media management, coaching, appointment setting, and of course, email copywriting. What all these side hustles do have in common is 1, potential to earn a 6-figure income. 2, in high demand, flexible income. Okay, you're earning scale directly in proportion to the hours you put in. So you can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, you can make really as much as you want. Remote, that can be done from anywhere in the world. You don't need to be tied down to a specific location. There's pretty much zero barrier to entry. You literally only need a phone or a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, plus obviously need to be fluent in English or whatever your native language is. There is zero startup cost other than the mentorship to learn the actual skill, because you're not going to have someone who's an expert at anything just take hours of their time to teach you for free, obviously. But that's really the only cost. Like, you don't need thousands of dollars for ads or inventory or other things like with an e-com business, for example. Also, very little time to profitability, aka you can basically just start making money straight away. So let's cover each of these right now. I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, who it's for, who it's maybe not for, and you can decide at the end of this which one you think maybe is the best suited to you. First up, we have phone closing, with a picture of my guy, GC. So earning potential with phone closing is very high. If you get really good at this, you can earn a ton of money. I have friends who do this for literally a couple of hours a day. They get paid a $7,000 commission per call that they close, because they're selling really expensive shit, right? They're selling 50K, 100K packages. So of course, they're going to take a few calls a day and make an extra $7,000 a day, right? So once you get really good, the world's your oyster. The learning curve is very steep though, aka it is harder to learn and master than a lot of the other skills on here. And it does take a lot more training and practice to actually be at the level where you can make a really good income. Flexibility, medium. So of course you can set your own hours, but you will be required to work within a certain time zone usually. And so it's like flexible, but it's not fully flexible where you can just disappear for a week and still make money. No, you need to still be taking calls. The compensation structure is pretty much 100% performance basis. Zero income is guaranteed. It's purely on performance. I would say this is best suited to extroverts. So the pros of phone closing, very high earning potential, and it's a very, very powerful skill to develop that will help you in all areas of entrepreneurship. The cons though, it does take a long time to master and hence a long time to earn the big bucks. So that's phone closing. Next up, we have social media management. Earning potential is medium. Still, you can earn 6 figures from it, but lower than phone closing. It is very easy to learn though. Really, all this involves is posting on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, stuff you're probably already doing anyway, and you would simply just do this for other brands because they don't have the time to do it themselves. Flexibility, again, is pretty high. You can schedule posts in advance, and so you could do it all on Monday and then take the rest of the week off. However, depending what the requirements of the job are, you may be required to respond to comments and do outbound DMs and that sort of thing, in which case you're really just going to be checking your phone a lot. And again, that's one of the cons down here. Frequent phone usage, which I just hate. I just hate checking my phone. I don't want to be tied to my phone. I don't want to be looking at it. I don't want to spend all day on social media, and I'm sure you don't either. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Usually the compensation structure is retainer, meaning you just get paid a flat fee every month. The pros of social media management, it's very easy to pick up because again, you're probably already posting anyway. And it is very remote, meaning you can do it from absolutely anywhere you want. There is also pretty much unlimited demand for this, right? Every business has a social media presence. And so there is no shortage at all of clients. The cons, it does have a capped earning potential, meaning because it is quite easy, it is somewhat of a commodity, meaning there are tons of people doing it. And so you can only charge so much. With something like this, you're really capped at $1,000 to $3,000 a month. And really, there's not a whole lot of value you can bring to the table beyond it's going to justify you being able to charge thousands more than that. There is also a lot of scope creep, meaning that there's a lot of little micromanaging tasks, responding to comments and that sort of thing, logging in, logging out, different profiles. That can really just eat into your day if you're not careful. So keep that in mind as well. Next up, we have coaching. So earning potential on coaching, obviously the business that I currently do, very high. Learning curve, once again, is steep because mind blowing. I know you actually need to know something in order to be able to coach other people. You need to be a legitimate expert at something. There are lots of moving pieces as again, this is technically a business, but if there is something that you're really good at, if you're teaching people how to do it on the side, whether it's soccer, fishing, making money online, then that can be a great source of income as well. Flexibility for this is very high as you basically set the rules, your own business. The comp structure, typically you get paid upfront or on retainer if it's a recurring thing. This is best suited probably to extroverts as you'll be coaching people on Zoom and stuff like that. The pros, basically you make all the rules. Your business, right? And it's very scalable, very high income potential. But of course, to me, you shouldn't really be in the business of coaching until you've first had a lot of success at something yourself. And then I feel like you've earned the right to teach it to other people. So just my take on it. Next up, we have appointment setting. Now, this is actually my number 2 pick out of these 5. So earning potential on this, I would say is medium to high because once again, the learning curve is very shallow. Firstly, just to explain what appointment setting is, basically all this is you book calls for people to close on the phone. So a lot of these coaches, course creators and stuff like that, you would have seen online, people selling fitness courses, how to make money online courses, all that good stuff. Most of them are sold over the phone. And so to actually book those calls, they need appointment setters is what they're called. And so you basically book calls on behalf of these coaches or agencies and you get paid a commission. Usually you get paid on performance per call that you book. When the person gets closed over the phone, you typically take home a 5 to 10% commission on the sales price of the package. That's how this works. All this really comes down to is quite literally just copy and pasting a script. And you just spend a lot of time, a few hours every day in the DMs on Facebook, Instagram, email, going back and forth, booking these calls, qualifying people to make sure they're a good fit. And because of that, because it's basically just copy pasting a script with some slight changes depending on what the person's response is, it is a bit of a commodity. It is very easy to learn, which is great. However, it does mean it's a bit of a commodity because literally anyone with 2 thumbs and half a brain can do it. So keep that in mind as well. The flexibility is medium in my opinion because whilst again you can set your own hours, you are typically expected to be able to respond to messages in a timely manner, which means you're going to need to be online for at least probably a 4-hour period every day, maybe even twice a day depending on the person you're working with. But it's not like you can just piss off to Bali for a week and come back and everything's okay. You will definitely be fired if that's the case. So keep that in mind as well. It's not full freedom. This is more suited to introverts as well, in my opinion. The pros, it is very easy to learn and quite literally to start making money from day one. I could give you a client tomorrow, you would start making commissions straight away, usually paid at the end of every week or at the end of every month. And again, the cons are your earnings are pretty capped because this is a bit of a commodity. And this does often demand about 5 to 7 days a week of availability. So whilst you don't work all day, you do pretty much have to work every day, which is not the best if you want to take time off and go and travel backpacking across Europe for 3 weeks, right? Which is why this is my number 2 pick. That, of course, leads us to the Don, the Daddy, my personal favorite, the reason we're all here. And that is, of course, going to be email copywriting, or my particular brand of email copywriting, Gmail copywriting. All this really is email copywriting, which is writing marketing emails. However, with some deliverability tricks designed to make more money for people who are using Gmail so you can charge more, as I talked about earlier. And it's a bit of a play on words, but I call it Gmail copywriting because the general public doesn't know what deliverability and all that stuff is. And you probably don't either just yet, which is fine. You'll learn. So earning potential on this is high, very high. Learning curve is medium. So there is a bit of a learning curve involved. You do have to learn the basic skills of copywriting. There's a lot of swipe templates and frameworks and stuff like that will give you. You can learn it pretty quickly, but again, it is a skill just like any other skill. It's not like blindly copy pasting scripts like appointment setting. You're gonna have to turn your brain on a little bit more. However, because of that, the earning potential is higher. Flexibility with this, and this is my personal favorite part of this and why it's number one in my opinion, the flexibility is very high. If you want to work a couple hours a day every day, you can totally do that. If you want to smash all your workout in 1 or 2 days a week and then take the rest of the week off, you can totally do that. If you have a 3-week holiday coming up, you can schedule all the emails out in advance. You can literally piss off to Hawaii for 3 weeks, throw your phone in the ocean and come back and everything's completely fine. Okay, obviously, if you are going to do that, let your client know so they know you're not dead, but you can structure it however you like. As long as the emails get sent out, that's all that matters. The comp structure for this is typically you get paid on retainer. So that means you get paid $2,000 or $3,000 per month flat fee. You can add on a performance component as well if you negotiate that. This is better suited to introverts, meaning you're just literally sitting behind your laptop writing words. You never show your face. You never talk to anyone. You don't have to be on Zoom or anything like that. At least for the day-to-day work, you will still have to do calls to actually get the client. But once you've got the client, you won't have to talk to anyone at all. So the pros, obviously high earning potential, super high flexibility. It's a very powerful skill to develop. In my opinion, copywriting and sales are the two most powerful money-making skills you could possibly develop ever, regardless of what you want to do. If you want to make a lot of money, you need sales skills, you need copywriting skills. There's no way around it. So great skill to develop. You also get full access, and this is possibly one of the best parts. If you do have ambitions of running your own business one day, you get literally full access behind the curtain of successful businesses. Because the thing about email, it's that middle piece between the front end, like ads, social media, and the first point of contact people have with businesses, all the way through to the back end where they're sent to a sales page or they book a call and they eventually buy something. You're effectively privy to that entire sales funnel, that entire sales process, and you get to see behind the scenes how it's all set up, how it all works. And so if you want to launch your own offer one day, you know exactly what you need to do because you've seen winning proven formula in action, which is really cool, not to be underestimated. And the only really con that I can think of is you do need to be fluent in either English or your native language if you prefer to write in your native language. And you do need decent writing skills as well. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to be like a straight A English student, but you do need somewhat decent writing skills because whilst there is a science to it, there's certainly an art to it as well. That is why Gmail copywriting is my personal number one pick. All right, so just to recap, it is the fastest and easiest type of copywriting to learn. Reason being, if you're going to write a sales page or something like that, it's 7,000 words. Obviously, a lot less can go wrong in 200 or 300 word email than it can with 7,000 words. So it's way easier to learn how to write emails than other types of copy. Another reason is you are the rainmaker for your clients because emails can make them so much money, as I'll show you in a second. You can charge high fees and you can justify charging high fees because of that. Clients pay you on retainer, so you have a consistent paycheck every month, just like you would with a job, except without having to work for an asshole boss. Work whenever you want, wherever you want. You literally just need a laptop and Wi-Fi. You never need to show your face, you never need to talk to anyone. So that's all well and good. How much do Gmail copywriters actually make typically? So I'll walk you through a few examples. So the industry standard is $2,000 a month USD for a daily email. When I say daily, 7 days a week, 30 emails a month, which works out to be about $66 an email. So you would need to write about 2 to 3 emails a day to earn a full-time income of about $4,000 to $6,000 a month, working part-time hours. Depending on how quickly you can write them, that works out to be typically, like we said, 2 to 3 emails a day, 2 to 3 hours a day, which is about 14 to 28 hours a week, depending how quick you are. So not too bad, right? Full-time income, working part-time hours, pretty good deal. So you can still do it outside of a job. If you wanted to keep your job, you can basically earn 2 full-time incomes, which is not bad at all. And if you wanted to make 6 figures, you could do that just writing 4 to 5 emails a day. So the way it typically works with email copywriting, I should be more specific here. This is more email copywriting. Subtle difference is you give your client the emails in a Google Doc at the start of the week or at the start of the month. And you basically say, hey, here are all the emails. You go and send them out. My work here is done. And they would be responsible for scheduling the emails, sending them out, ensuring good deliverability practices, ensuring they land in the inbox and not in the spam folder and all that stuff. Your job would just be writing them if you were an email copywriter. In the beginning, it will take around 60 to 90 minutes to write each email. And as you get better, you can get faster and you can write the emails in half the time, which effectively means you double your hourly rate. But let's just say in the beginning, 60 to 90 minutes. So a typical hourly rate for you would be about $44 to $66 an hour. Not too bad at all for something that doesn't require a degree. But here is where it gets really exciting. Enter what I call Gmail copywriting. So with some basic knowledge of automation and deliverability, which is super easy to learn, trust me. This is basically the black magic stuff that I accidentally stumbled upon that I told you in my story before. You can drastically improve your clients' results with email marketing. It makes a world of difference. Let's say you were going to the spam folder or the promotions folder before in Gmail. That's why I call it Gmail copywriting. If you can just go from the promotions tab to the primary tab, guess what? Emails that land in the primary tab typically get on average twice as many opens. And that of course is going to translate to twice as many clicks and twice as many sales for your clients. You can quite literally double the email marketing revenue your client's making simply from getting them from the promotions tab to the primary tab. And with these improved results, because you're typically saving your client time as well by sending the emails out yourself, so you're now responsible for the sending, logging in, making sure they go out on time, all that stuff, you can typically get away with charging $3,000 a month instead of $2,000, which again, I mean, if you took them from promotions to primary, they're making twice as much. I think that's very fair. So this now works out to $100 an email instead of $66 an email. And as you get better, you should be able to write emails in about half the time as when you're a beginner. So now we're talking 30 to 60 minutes to write an email instead of 60 to 90. So now your typically hourly rate is starting to look a little bit more like $100 or even $200 an hour. And I can tell you that is a hell of a lot more than I was getting paid at the warehouse. So yeah, pretty damn cool. But having said all that, is it actually really in demand? So let's run through some quick statistics right here. So according to World Bank and Statista, there are 330 million companies in the world, and over 81% of them use email marketing, right? As they should, because typically, on average, email marketing is the highest ROI form of marketing in the 21st century, beating the pants off SEO, mobile, keyword ads, all that other stuff that you could do. And again, every claim that I'm making here, I have the sources backed up. You can go read the articles. It's all been verified. I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass here. Feel free to Google this stuff in your spare time. So check this out. This is the really good stuff here. So it's been documented that about 4 billion people, that's billion with a B, by the way, check their emails every single day. That's half the planet. And it's more than all social media platforms combined, more than Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all combined, which is ridiculous. Think about that. And email is not going anywhere, okay? A lot of people say, oh, email's dead, email's dying, all this stuff. Dude, come on. JP Morgan is not about to start sending your monthly bank statement over on fucking Snapchat, okay? Email is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. It's been here since the beginning of the internet. It's been around for 25 years. It's gonna be here for another 25 years, all right? Now, can you guess which email platform is the most popular? You may be able to guess. You got it, Gmail. So Gmail is the most widely used email service. Over 1.5 billion people use Gmail as their preferred email provider. And guess what? CEOs know this. They know there is a ton of money to be made with email. They know there are billions of active users, but they just don't have time to write the emails themselves, which is why they hire people to do it for them and pay them handsomely, because it is a massive driver of revenue and growth for a lot of businesses. So check this out. This might surprise you, but the top reason that users typically actually like receiving emails from brands, right here, number one reason, they contain offers. People like to buy stuff, okay? They hate to be sold to, but people love to buy, okay? Think of a brand you really love, right? Maybe you're an absolute shoe nut and you're obsessed with Jordans, right? And you want to know when the next one comes out so you can buy it. But the problem with algorithms and stuff like that on social media is only like the top 5% of posts are actually shown to you. So you're not really going to know unless you're actively going out there and looking for that kind of information. But email, if you're checking every day, you're going to see it. It's going to come up there, right there in your primary tab, in your Gmail. Hey, new shoe. And guess what? Are you pissed off that they're like emailing you about their new shoe? No, you opted in, you subscribed, you said, hey, I want you to let me know when the next shoe comes out so I can buy it. And that's why email gets such a massive ROI. Same thing, if there was an artist that you absolutely loved, wouldn't you want to know when they're in town so you can go to their concert? Of course. And email is just typically the best way to do that because it is the platform people check the most. The numbers don't lie, okay? And as you can see, the revenue from email marketing is expected to cross 10 billion USD this year in 2023. So just to be clear, like what I'm talking about here, email marketing, Gmail marketing, it is not annoying, spammy marketing emails, okay? It is not cold emailing people and wasting their time and annoying them. It's not these ugly, scammy, spammy, flashing banner ads. Miss Russia, Miss Universe wants to fuck you tonight. Any of that stuff, okay? That's not what we're talking about here, all right? What we mean here by email marketing, Gmail marketing is emails like this. It's written in a way that is personal, it's friendly, it's written simply like a friend talking to another friend. And a lot of the times they'll give you advice and wisdom and share value if you're on someone's email list, and you'll get a lot of tips for free. And of course, in some of those emails, they're going to make an offer to you so you can buy a product or a service, which will teach you more about the thing that they just taught you for free. And people love it. If I'm an avid golfer and I'm on a golf newsletter and I'm getting tips about how to improve my swing and knock some shots off my score, then of course, if they come out with some product or service or video training or something like that, which is going to go more in depth and give me more information so I can beat my friends at golf, I'm going to be all over that. I would love to buy it and learn. So as you can see, a couple examples here. One from Stefan Georgi, who is a very famous copywriter. He's made over $700 million, nearly $1 billion in sales from the copy that he has written. And a lot of that, of course, in email. This is one of my emails right there, simply letting people know about a new case study program that I'm doing to help a few more people make money, ironically, with email in the way that I'm showing you right here. And people love it. And I literally send one of these every single month. Every single time I send it, we get dozens of people replying saying, hey, I want to be one of the case studies. Can you show me? Can you teach me? The emails we're talking about here, this is writing to people who opted in to your list and asked to be emailed offers. All right. We're not spamming anyone here. They want to hear from you and they want to buy. That's the reason that they signed up. Okay. Hopefully you can see the difference. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, that's it. Businesses pay $100 just for that 200-word email. Like, it can't be that easy. That's bullshit. Show me. What I want to do right now, I want to walk you through some typical examples of how this actually looks, and we're going to go through some numbers here. So this is what I would actually call a bad case client result. This is a pretty subpar result for a client, but we still, as you'll see, make them a fair bit of money. So let's say they've got 5,000 people on their email list, right? They send 3 emails a week. Their open rates are 10% because they're probably landing in the promotions tab, and the open to click reply rate, 1% of people click the link in the email, pretty typical, and they're selling a product for $2,500. And let's say they're making on average about $10,000 a month from their email list. Simply, if the only thing we do is we send 5 times a week instead of 3 times a week, we send more often, and we're able to write more compelling subject lines that get people to want to open the email, we get their open rates from 10% to 15%. Check this out. With literally just those 2 changes, we are now making them $25,000 a month instead of $10,000 a month. That's a 2.5x what they're currently doing. Now, it gets better. Let's look at a typical case here. So same numbers as before. We're now sending twice as many emails, 6 instead of 3 every week. We managed to write better subject lines and also improve their deliverability so the emails are landing in the primary tab because, let's be honest, do you check the promotions tab in Gmail? Probably not. Most people don't. So they were going there before. Now they're going to primary. Twice as many people are opening each email, which of course means twice as many sales. And now let's say you're a better writer. Your emails become more compelling. People click the links. Just 10% more people click the links. That's it. All right. We're now making $44,000 a month for your client instead of $10,000 a month. That's over 4 times more money. You've made them literally an extra $34,000 a month than they were making before. Do you think you can justify charging $2,000 or $3,000 a month? Yes. Okay. Now let's really dream here. Let's really swing for the fences and see what's possible in a best case scenario. So what we're going to do here, let's say we manage to, using a combination of organic and paid ads, grow their list from 5,000 to 10,000 people. We are now sending a daily email, so 7 times a week instead of 3. We are getting a 30% open rate instead of 10% because your deliverability is on point. Every email is going to the primary tab and you're writing very compelling subject lines. You're scrubbing the list full of inactive subscribers, and so it's only going to people who are engaged. These, by the way, are very real numbers. Like my open rates are all above 30%, typically average about 35, even 40% sometimes. You're writing better copy, so 20% more people are clicking the link. And let's say you bump your price up just to 10%. You just charge 10% more for the thing you're currently selling. Let's do the maths. We're sending to twice as many people. So immediately this becomes 20,000. We're getting 3 times as many opens. So we 3x, that immediately becomes 60,000. We're saying 7 times a week instead of 3. Now, despite studying engineering, my maths isn't the best. So we're going to do a quick Google search here. 7 divided by 3 times 60. That's going to give us 140. So 140,000 simply by just sending more often. It's that simple. Next, we boost the click-through rates by 20%. So this goes up by 1.2. That brings us to 168. And then we increase the price by 10%. So we multiply that by 1.1. And boom, right there, we get $184,000 a month, which is the number that we got over here. So you can see how just a bunch of these little tweaks can really significantly add up. You're making them 18 times more money from their list than they were making before. And you're only charging $2,000 to $3,000 a month, right? It's a no-brainer for your client. So if you're still not convinced, I want to introduce you to my good friend and one of my old students and clients, James Conti. So this is James and I have hung out a bunch of times. So this is James today, right? That's his Instagram. As you can see, he does pretty well. That's him hanging out with his girlfriend on the beach, flying private. That's the same ClickFunnels award that I showed you before, which means he's made over $1 million in sales from ClickFunnels. The dude is absolutely killing it. He's now making well over $2 million a year from his business. He actually makes more than me. He's surpassed me now, which is really cool. James is an absolute savage. He's a beast. I love James. Now, check this out. This is the James that I met in 2019. Completely different person. When we started working together, cannot make this up, James had literally, in the same week, I shit you not, been fired from McDonald's and also dumped by his girlfriend. Savage. Talk about rock bottom, right? So the dude was not in the best place, like mentally, right? So at the time we were talking, he'd recently just taken an email copywriting course and he had no idea how to get paying clients, right? Because none of these courses seem to teach you for some reason, even though it's like the most important part. Hey, how do I get paid from this skill? So he'd heard about my reputation amongst the community and by the grace of God, somehow managed to actually scrape together enough money to work with me. This is where it gets very exciting. So I've actually scrolled all the way back to 2018 and I found our entire conversation history on Instagram. So as you can see there, 31st of December, 2018, I'm only making $300 a week working at this shitty cafe job. 8th of January, this is the day that he joined us, 2019. He says, hey, I feel terrified as if I'm standing on a cliff about to jump. I love it. I'm so excited. Let's do this. And this is literally, this screenshot here is probably an hour later. He messages me after he joins and he says, dude, man, I might just need a bit of reassurance. I'm not sure if I can do this. I don't think I can keep up the monthly payments after everything that's happened. I don't know if I'm in the best place. Follows up again. Hey bro, it's me again. I think I've made a bad decision. I've got university coming up. They're cutting my hours at the cafe. I really don't think I can do this. Can I just back out and leave? The dude was freaking out. I said to him, dude, chill. You literally are at rock bottom. You have nothing to lose. No offense, but your life can't really get worse. So stick it out. Trust me, implement the process. If for whatever reason it doesn't work, like I'll give you money back. It's all good. But like at least just give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. He was like, okay, all right, let's do this. And from that moment, oh my God, a legend was born. Check this out. I scrolled all the way back to the start of our conversation history to find this. It took me like fucking half an hour. So that's it. 25th of January, a couple weeks after he joins us, he started to book his first few calls. Bam, right there, the 4th of Feb, less than a month after joining us, he had signed his first $2,000 a month client. 3 days later, quit his job at the cafe. And then from there, the man was off. Like this is the start of an empire being built. So another client, a second client at $1,500 a month. And the dude just kept going. So this right here, we got the full evolution of James Conti. So it starts making $300 a day. Pretty good. That's $100K a year, right? Then he's making 14 grand a month, then basically 14K a week, and then $5,000 a day. Then he's flying his first private jet flight, and then keeps going 50K a month. And then he's making, if you can zoom in, you can see that 74,000 a month, and then 100K a month, and then 150K a month, and then as you can see there, $180,000 cash collected in May last year. Which, do the maths on that, works out to be over $2 million a year. This kid is like 22 years old at the current moment. Like, literally ridiculous, right? So if it's okay with you, I would love to actually show you behind the scenes of how we actually make this happen for people, how we're able to pump out so many ridiculous success stories like James. What's our training process like? How do these people get such ridiculous results? I want to show you behind the scenes as to some of the training and coaching that you can expect if you do decide to eventually work with us. So first things first is the actual email copywriting training. Now, this is actually not taught by me. It is taught by my good friends, Sam Robson and Tyler Ryan. These two dudes are incredible copywriters. They have written for Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, VShred, BioTrust, Brandon Carter, Steve Weatherford, more 8 and 9 figure brands than I can literally count. Tyler's actually an ex-NASA engineer, super smart dude. And his friend Sam was my original copywriting mentor. So to have them coach my clients is cream of the crop. They've made over $50 million, probably over $100 million with their emails for their clients. They know what the fuck they're doing. Let's put it that way. All right. It's why I leave the email training to them. So as you can see here on the left, these are effectively all of the modules and the key pillars of email copywriting that Sam and Tyler break down their experience, having sold over $50 million of products and services over email. They give you all their frameworks, scripts, writing processes, subject lines, swipe files. They really just give it all to you. So it's pretty cool. So over here on the left, we have the 7 pillars of effective email copy. They go through all of them in detail there. Part 2 is the implementation section, how to actually write Copy, how to become a copywriter, because you're a copywriter, not a copy learner, right? You actually have to write to get good and to get results. So they cover all of that there. Then there's research. It is the most boring part, but it is the most important part. It will be what separates the amateurs from the pros. And then part 4 is from email copywriter to expert marketer. And that's really about everything that goes around the emails to ensure success for your clients, so you can make sure you get them good results and of course charge more money. Now to this program, I'm going to be adding all of the Gmail juice in the coming weeks, which is everything you need to know about deliverability, automations, best practices, getting from spam or promotions tab to primary, everything that I've learned in my last 5 years of doing this, which is going to enable you to charge $3,000 a month instead of $2,000. Now, all of that is just the email copy training part. Obviously, the next section is once you've learned the skill, how do you actually get paying clients to write for? And that is what really sets us apart from other copywriting programs, which just completely skip over this section, or their strategies are just frankly not very good from experience. This really is the meat of the program. It's about actually building your freelancing business and getting paying clients. There's me congratulating you, welcoming you to the program. We got the whole on-ramp section there. And then really there's 8 core modules and it's going to make up 8 weeks. So we cover everything from warrior foundations, which is effectively setting yourself a strong foundation as an entrepreneur, choosing your niche, how to choose the most profitable niche for you, because it varies on the person, choosing a niche you actually like writing for, which can also make you a lot of money, the tech stuff you need to get set up, super quick and easy, farming. This is effectively building what I like to call a farm, which is a platform like Instagram or Facebook that you basically build over time. It's not going to feed you today, but you plant those seeds, you nurture them over time, and eventually they will grow and blossom into crops and feed you for years to come. Next, we have hunting. That is going to be cold outreach. We have some really cool tools that we teach in here, specifically using AI. We have a whole AI outreach machine, I call it, which basically leverages the power of AI, various tools like ChatGPT, sending softwares, lead gen softwares, even AI video tools where you can film one video and it will personalize it to 1,000 different people. And so you can send it off with the click of a button. It'll follow up for you automatically. It's ridiculous. There's even another software that will scan the whole internet for information on a prospect, and it'll actually write you a personalized first line for them. Hey John, I saw you were featured on Entrepreneur Magazine for your contribution to men's mental health. That's amazing. Where'd it go? And the AI will write that for you. Like, ridiculous. Really cool. So it takes a couple of days to set it all up, but once you really have it up and running, it's like literally you sit there, you hit start and you kick back and it just books calls for you on autopilot. It's fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. I would have literally killed someone to have something like this when I first got started. It's ridiculous. So from there, we cover qualifying prospects. How do you make sure people are a good fit to actually work with you? Closing them, how do you close them on the phone? How do you overcome objections? And then from there, running your freelancing business, making sure you retain and keep the clients that we help you sign. And then a bunch of bonus trainings here, additional skills. We also teach appointment setting and chat closing as well, because it's a great upsell, and a bunch more ways to increase your income as a freelancer. Plus heaps of resources there for you as well. And we're always adding more bonuses and resources and trainings as well. Not to mention, possibly the single most valuable part of this entire program is going to be our Facebook group. Fun fact, I literally interviewed 26 of our 6-figure students a couple of years ago. 24 out of 26 of them said that the Facebook group was one of the top 3 most valuable parts of the entire program. I am not surprised. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying it is the most helpful, supportive community I have ever been a part of. It just so happens to be my own. Everyone in here wants you to win. Everyone here is so supportive. You can look at the types of questions people are asking. Look at the details in some of these answers. People are posting questions. 11 people taking time out of their day to comment their answers. You can just see the depth of quality of answers. And these people aren't like noobs, by the way. Like a lot of these dudes are making, like Logan right there. Dude's making 30 grand a month and he's taking time out of his day to help the newbies. I don't know a single other course or program or mastermind with a community that helpful. We have people making hundreds of thousands, $500,000 a year, taking time out of their day to help the new guys. Like it's incredible. Like I love my students. I love this community so much. We can just scroll and scroll. There is so much support in here. There's people posting client opportunities all the time. Super easy just to scoop up clients by just hanging out in the group. We've got James, who I talked about just before, now hiring people. He's hired multiple people from the actual group. He's gone from unemployed to employing people. Just come full circle. It's actually pretty funny. Yeah, there's people posting wins in here like literally every single day. Boom, Bill just signed another client for another $1,000 a month. Happens literally every day in the group. Not to mention, we have the 2 messenger group chats as well. These chats are lit up 24/7. That's for my resistance tribe. With people asking questions, answering questions, offering client opportunities, posting their wins, feedback, experience. It is so incredibly valuable. It is literally just like one of the best communities. Ananto made 5K this week. Dude's from India, by the way. So 5K for him. Serious money. Not to mention as well, I nearly forgot to mention the coaching calls with our coaching team. So this is something that I have not seen a single program at our price point offer, and that's the weekly copy coaching. So I actually brought in 2 expert copywriters who have made tens of millions of dollars with their copy. I actually bring them in to train my tribe, my students every single week, twice a week. We have calls with Matt, we have calls with Nico. People bring their copy for review, and then Matt and Nico review it, tear it apart, put it back together, give everyone really in-depth, detailed feedback to make sure they're actually growing and progressing every single week and getting better as a copywriter, so they can not only keep the clients that they sign, but ultimately charge more as well. And again, I haven't seen anything like this offered in a program like this. Typically, to get that level of coaching and feedback, you'd have to be in some sort of mastermind, which is going to cost you like 12, 15 grand a year as a minimum, all the way up to 30, 40, 50 grand a year for the higher level masterminds. So the value is pretty ridiculous. And if you are still not convinced that Gmail copywriting is the best side hustle you could possibly start in 2023, and that we are not the best people to possibly teach it to you and coach you and help you, then allow me to introduce you to just a couple more people. So here's what Gmail copywriting has done for some other people. So this is Logan Lapierre. Logan was actually, I know this sounds like cap, like I know it sounds like some fairy tale. I assure you, you can go look up this article right now. Just Google Sean Logan Daily Mail. This was an article published in the Daily Mail Australia, which is the biggest news outlet in Australia. They did a whole piece on it. They literally grilled Logan on the phone for 2 hours straight to get every single fact correct, because obviously the publisher is going to lose his job if he's just publishing bullshit. So yeah, you can go check it out. But essentially, when we started working together, Logan was literally homeless. He stole his dad's gym card and he was sleeping on the floor of a gym. And he basically used some of my free advice that I have on my YouTube and stuff to land his first client, and used all the income from the first client. And he would literally wake up at 5 a.m., go to a cafe, order like a triple long black, and just sit there for 12 hours straight, smashing out DMs, basically following the script that I taught for free on my YouTube and stuff like that. Managed to land his first client from doing that, which gave him enough money to eventually work with me. And literally 6 months later, the dude was pulling in over $10,000 a month. So we literally went from homeless to 6 figures in 6 months, which is just mind blowing. Like, it's ridiculous. So there you go, right? You can see, so Logan himself right there says, just closed another $2,000 a month client. I was homeless almost 6 months ago. Now I'm crushing minimum 12K this month. Truly believe anyone can do this. You can too. Thank you, Sean. And another one over here, I just closed another client for another $2,000 a month. And this is a text I got from Logan a couple of years ago. He was like, dude, just tallied my numbers. I just had $12,300 hit my bank account this month. If anyone has doubts that CMB doesn't work, they need to pull their head out of their ass. I agree with that. And then a lot of programs have changed my life, but CMB has truly helped me internalize a lot of it. Joining CMB is by far one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I don't disagree. What about Renzo, who helped literally cure his mum's cancer? You can see there on the left, right? He joined us in September 2020. He was making $4,000 a month. So he had something going for him. But he went from 4K to 16K a month in 2 months. And then we scaled him all the way up to $65,000 a month in my Inner Circle / Resistance Mastermind. Need I say more? But more than just the money, I think the coolest part of that is that he literally helped save his mum's life. His mum had cancer and the treatment was 20 to 30K. Because as we know, there's no healthcare in America. And so you got to pay it yourself. And so literally because of the transformation that he had made with CMB, he was able to help pay for his mum's cancer treatment, which is just, that's fucking cool. Like that's changing lives right there. And yeah, 6K in the bank, like the dude's a savage. He's doing so well. Super proud of you, Renzo. One more, just in case you're not fully convinced yet. Ray, another one of my absolute favorites, and we've since become good friends, but he first joined us in CMB. The dude literally did not even know how to spell the word copywriting. He had zero knowledge or experience and was just made redundant from his job. He also had a mortgage with his dad, and so he literally had 30 days left that he had to make the payment or he would get deported back to Singapore. It was do or die, right? And sure enough, he did. So not only managed to replace his job income, but managed to hit 10K a month within, I'm supposed to say, actually, 31 days, 1 month from 0 to 10K a month, which is ridiculous. So here you can see the evolution of Ray paying. So right there, I scrolled all the way back, 2nd of August. This is when we're talking about him joining. He was like, hey, so I was made redundant from my job. A couple of weeks after this, he ended up joining us, and then the booms start rolling in. This is 2nd of September, right? Literally 1 month later exactly. He says, left my 9 to 5, signed 2 clients, first 2K in the bank, and then they start coming thick and hard. 3rd client right there, 4th client right there. As you can see, if you zoom in, it says earn more in the last 17 days than my after-tax income at my 9 to 5. But he did not stop there, I can tell you that. The dude smashed right past 10K a month, went all the way to over 100,000 a month in 1 year, went from 0 to $1 million. So as you can see, we actually helped him close Jordan Belfort as a client, and he wrote a VSL for The Wolf of Wall Street, which is cool. So it was at this point that I introduced him to Wade, which is one of my friends, super high level business owner in my network. He was running a $6 million a year travel agency. It was the guy with the picture of the Lambo at the start. Yep, him. This is how much of a savage Ray is. He literally flew to Brisbane from Melbourne to have lunch. It's like a 2-hour flight, literally just to have lunch. And needless to say, they started working together. From that point, the screenshots do the talking. A couple months later, he's doing 50K a month. A few months after that, he's doing 90,000 a month, and just kept going and going and going. Next up, 2 million a year. 1 million a year? Nah, I'm going all the way to 2. So within 2 years, he was making $2 million a year. And since then, last time I checked with him, he scaled the agency up to about $220,000 a month, which is about 2.7 million a year. So I'm not taking credit for that, but hey, it all did start from him joining CMB. That was the catalyst for all of this. And I think it's just, it's unbelievable. And now, as you can see there, as he's scaling towards 5 million a year, he's now hiring people from our community. It's been really cool. He's come full circle. And that's me, Ray, and Wade over there. So I know this is probably like way over your head. You're like, dude, I'm not looking to become like some multi-millionaire just yet. But I want to really drive into your head that if becoming a millionaire is an ambition that you have, starting a business one day, none of this could have happened for Ray or for James or for anyone else who I mentioned before unless they first developed that skill. And the skill that got them all started, that they all have in common, is email copywriting. Specifically my way of doing it, which we call Gmail copywriting. So whether you're just looking to replace your job income or you really want to like make some serious coin, it's one of those skills that will allow you to literally print money on demand for the rest of your life. This, by the way, is literally just the tip of the iceberg. I have a folder in my camera roll. As you can see, there's 606 screenshots just like this of testimonials, booms, client results, people getting money left and right. We would be here for a week if I was to read every single one. So my question for you is, would you like to be next? Because I sure as hell would like you to be next. So I would love to make you my next big success story. And this month, I'm actually taking on a few more people who want to make an extra $1,000 a week or more just by writing 2 simple emails a day from home in the way that we've just shown you. I'll actually be referring a lot of them to business owners in my network, just like I introduced Ray to Wade. And we have client opportunities everywhere in the group, as you just saw. I actually have 5 people looking to hire literally right now that I'll be referring to my top students and clients. So if you're interested, all you got to do is just click the link below, book a call with my head coach, Ben. He's just going to have a very casual chat to you to essentially see if it is a good fit. Not some super high pressure, high tension, buy or die sales call. Ben's a very honest and straightforward guy. He's going to shoot you straight. He's going to let you know if he thinks this is a good opportunity for you or not. So if you're keen to learn more about it, get started, get involved, book a call below, have a chat with Ben, and then he'll get you all the details you need to get started. Yeah, so that'll do it for today. Have a tremendous rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.